Have you ever wondered what makes a YouTube video stand out, or what can make a video sales call truly effective? I'll expose the 3 pieces of gear you need to have to take your video conferencing calls to the next level and get you up and running for making YouTube video. I've used these myself to double my sales salary and getting my YouTube channel up and running, but 99% of sales professionals are not paying attention to these. So it's no wonder that you bang your head to the wall after losing the client to the competition. And I'll be honest, it's not that your sales pitch isn't any good. It's because it's all about first impressions and professionalism. True professionals, they understand this, and they know that every single small detail matters. And if you can get ahead of your competition, then you know what I mean. Imagine the results. So I'm giving you my thought process behind this and recommendations so you don't have to waste any more time and get to start closing more customers. And if you want to start on YouTube, you will also get up and running. I remember when I first started doing sales conferencing calls from home a few years back. Everyone was afraid to meet in person, and the sales numbers were declining. So we decided to do sales calls remotely with video conferencing on computers over Zoom. The company provided us with new laptops. That felt great. Everyone was really excited and waiting to get back on track. But as the calls went on, something just felt off. The sales numbers, they were also still declining. I noticed that when I pitched my ideas, there wasn't the same level of engagement. Prospective clients seemed distracted, almost disconnected, and I just couldn't figure out why. I knew my pitch was solid, my numbers backed it up, but the climax, it just wasn't there. One day, after a particularly frustrating video call, I played back the recording. That's when I saw the problem.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
It wasn't just my pitch. The image was grainy and I looked like a fuzzy silhouette. That's when I realized it. I wasn't just delivering words. I was delivering an experience. And that experience started with how I looked on screen. In that exact moment, I decided to upgrade to a real camera. I did my research, found a model that was perfect for video conference calls and set it up. The difference was instant. I was sharp on screen and the clients paid more attention to me. I felt more confident and it showed. The client on the other end was engaged, nodding along, and asking more questions. It wasn't just what I was saying. It was the way I was coming across. First impressions, you know. The clarity of the camera made me seem more professional, more present, and to be honest, more trustworthy. If upgrading my camera made that big of a difference in something super simple like sales calls, imagine what it could do for you. And the same goes for new YouTubers. When you want to start out, you obviously need a camera to record your content with. It's easy to think that your content alone will carry you, but in reality, how you present yourself visually is just as important. Just like those conference calls, where the visual experience of the client changed their level of engagement. The same thing happens on YouTube. Your camera isn't just capturing you, it's capturing the viewer's attention, and how well you do that can make or break your success. New YouTubers often focus so much on their ideas, scripts, and energy, which are crucial, no doubt. But if your video quality isn't on point, people are less likely to stick around to hear what you have to say. I recommend that you start with your phone that you already have. Get a few videos up and running and upgrade later on to a proper camera. I recommend the Sony ZV-10. This is the exact model I got. It has built-in webcam mode, but to be honest, I don't use that since it's only 720p resolution. That's why I also got an Elgato Camlink 4K, so I can have the best possible image quality for the clients. But a camera is just the beginning. It is a good step forward, but it doesn't matter what kind of camera you have if it's not capturing or recording the best quality without this next important piece of equipment. So the sales numbers were rising and everything seemed to be great, but I was still not able to close the amount of clients I wanted to. I knew that it wasn't lack of skills. I'd been doing sales for 13 years at this point, and I had always delivered. And also I had just upgraded my camera too. So I knew it had to be something else. Did my newly gathered confidence make me too arrogant and ruin everything? I decided to record my sales conference call again. First, I didn't see what it was, but I just knew that everything was not right. The more and more I stared at the recording, I realized that the image as a whole wasn't too appealing. I was doing these conference calls from home, remember? I hadn't thought of this at all. But the background was distracting and unpleasant. My face was dark and I had no visible facial expressions. I wasn't coming across the way I thought I was. And that's when it clicked. This small detail was affecting everything. So I made a small change, something that I hadn't really considered before. And on my next few conference calls, everything shifted. The clients were more engaged than ever. I could feel the connection, and my confidence was on a next level immediately. And I even closed the deals faster than ever before. What was the change? No, it wasn't a new camera again. It was something that made me more visible, more approachable, and more professional. I bought lighting for my setup. It was as simple as adjusting how I was seen on camera. And that small little tweak made a huge impact on my sales numbers. Lighting is a very important part of capturing good quality video. The more light you can give for the camera to pick up, the sharper and better the results are gonna be. That's also why the second element of the 3 essential pieces of gear you need to make YouTube video. I bought this kind of light. It is a LED panel light, and this one is made by Elgato. There are a lot of different options for lights, but these are small and compact, so they don't need a lot of space. If you have a room with big windows, you can start making content with just the light coming in from the window also. But a dedicated video light is always gonna be better. Don't worry if you don't remember what kind of camera or what kind of light I recommended. I put links in the description so you can check them out there. Now you have 2 pieces covered, but the last one, it might be the most important one. I didn't really have problems anymore with sales. Everything went really smoothly. I had doubled my sales income and I was on top of my game. But it is very important in life to constantly improve on small things, and I already knew what I needed to upgrade next. This was not something spectacular and big, and I didn't have to buy anything since I already owned many of these. Now I had a great image with my camera. The lights had elevated it to something spectacular, but this would not be of any importance if the clients can't hear me properly. Let me tell you that the built-in microphones in laptops are surprisingly good in my experience. Not perfect by all means, but good enough for most people doing conference calls. But I didn't want to leave any stones unturned, since my livelihood was dependent on the sales. So I just took out a proper microphone from my cabin and hooked it up. Sound quality difference was noticeable immediately for the better. At this point, I'm sure that I'm ahead of 99% of my competitors in terms of image and audio quality. The clients are stunned of the quality, and I have had to answer a lot of questions about the gear. But that's just a good thing. It raises the trustworthiness, and you need the clients to trust you in order to make a sale. For YouTube videos, audio is, in my opinion, the most important aspect. If the viewer can't hear you properly, they will click away immediately. Just get whatever microphone you want. Every one of them are better than the microphone on your phone or on your camera. I have links for my suggestions down in the description, like I said, and I thought you might need some accessories also, so check out.